Okay, welcome and thank you for attending the Community Board 3 May 2022 SLA meeting. You should be able to see on your screen here a few guidelines for tonight's meetings. This meeting is being recorded. All attendees should sign into the chat with your name and affiliation if relevant. The chat will only be used to sign up to speak, or ask about technical issues. The chat will only go to the host. Just gonna, Susan, when Jeanette joins, Susan, do you mind just can you make her a co-host, or maybe I have to?
Oh, sure. She
just got here.
She went in and out. I'll do.
Oh, there you are. Hold on. Okay, never mind. I got you.
Can we also welcome our 3 new members?
Sure. Hold on. I'm not done with. I just wanted to make sure Jeanette could get co-host so she can let people in. I will announce when each agenda item is up for comment from the public. Please raise your Zoom hand function to speak. If you are having trouble doing that, please chat us. If you're here representing a group, please speak, select no more than 2 speakers. But I will note how many people are here supporting or opposing your position. Please keep yourself muted unless you've been recognized by me to avoid background noise. We will mute you if you are making noise out of turn. And here's the agenda for tonight. Please note that we've had a couple of withdrawals. So if you're here for one of those items, check back on the agenda for next month. Okay, Susan, go ahead.
I just wanted to welcome the 3 new members, Josh Waterman, Jake Gold, and Arnett Scott. We invited them to come to different committees to see what committees they want to request. So hello.
Welcome. And to wit, I also want to say thank you and take a moment to acknowledge Jesse Beck, who is a long-term committee member, maybe besides Herman the longest, for his ongoing service on the community board, and to thank him for graciously agreeing to remain on this committee as a public member. Unfortunately, our city council member may not appreciate Jesse's hard work and invaluable contributions to this committee, but the committee does, and I do. And I hope that the applicants and the public do as well. So thank you, Jesse. And I'm really happy that you decided to stay along so we can continue to work together.
Okay, we have more new members coming also. Larry Finn, I just want to welcome, and hopefully there'll be more. We have 9 new members.
Okay, thank you, Susan. Okay, first item is, does anyone from the committee have any objections to the minutes from last month? Okay, hearing none, I will go to a roll call vote. Michelle Cooper-Smith present, Jeanette Kim.
Present.
Jesse Beck.
Yes.
David Crane. Saw David join.
Yeah, here, sorry.
Oh, there you are. Jamie Felber.
Yeah.
Herman Hewitt. Paul Cieros.
Yeah.
Thank you. Susan, I think that the minutes form needs to be adjusted with the members, just FYI. Okay, so we might go a little bit out of order this evening. Just I think that there are going to be some tougher applications and some quicker ones. So I always like to start with the quicker ones so we can get those folks out of here. So on that note, I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to go number 3, Calexico. Then it's number 3, number 11. Yeah, start with 3 and 11. So are the applicants for number 3 present?
Yes, I am here. This is Phil Doran, attorney for the applicant.
Okay, and I see Dave Benley. Is that your client?
Yeah, Rick, Jesse, and Dave should be
great.
here.
Fabulous. Okay, so I am just going to drop the application in the chat for everyone to follow along. And as folks who attend this committee often will know, just for the run of show, I will hit the highlights of the application, then give the applicant or the representation a chance to clarify anything. Then the committee will have a chance to ask questions if they have things that they want to clarify, and then I'll go to members of the public. If there are any, I'll ask you to raise your Zoom hand at that point. That will be the run of show, more or less, over and over and over, 8 times tonight. Okay, so this is number 3. I'm sorry if is it Calexico?
Calexico.
Okay, I don't know why I want to do it.
California and Mexico.
The Basque. Oh, okay. So this is an application for 99 2nd Avenue, which has been Calexico, which I believe closed at some point during the pandemic. They are starting a different concept called the Big Cat. They'd also like to extend their closing hours to 2 a.m. all days. This is at 99 2nd Avenue. Certificate of occupancy of 74 people, 15 tables and 42 seats. And Phil, if you know how many seats are at the bar, that would be great. This will be Asian, Latin, fusion cuisine, prepared in a full kitchen, served at all times. There are 22 full on-premises licenses, including this one. So it's an existing license, just asking for an alteration. So this applicant was approved in August 2018 with closing hours of 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. As I noted, they want to extend it to 2 a.m. all nights. They got the license in July 2019. There are no known complaints to the community board here, no commercial 301 complaints. 16 residents signed a petition in favor. And this applicant holds 4 other licenses in Brooklyn and Manhattan. So Phil, anything to add there?
Well, yeah, just to answer your question, there are 16 seats at the bar.
Awesome, thank you.
And no, you did a great job, Michelle. I guess the only couple things I'd like to add are that the Calexico team came before this committee a few years ago, originally asking for the 2 a.m. And as is customary, the board requested that the team operate for a little while, get their bearings, and prove that they're good neighbors in the community. So here we are a few years later, and we believe that they've held their end of the bargain. So of course we're asking that the committee holds their end of the bargain, that they return the favor.
Great, thanks, Phil. Okay, anyone from the committee have any questions about this application?
So Calexico's closed, but they are switching the style of operation, right?
Yeah, so it's a method of operation change under the state liquor authority. The menu is getting a slight twist, although it is remaining a restaurant. Still a full restaurant menu, full kitchen, etc. They're just adding actually a bit of an Asian twist to it. There are going to be some of the same menu items that you see at Calexico, or that you've seen at this location and that you see at some of the others. However, they didn't want to confuse the customer base because it's a slightly different concept. So they didn't want to keep the same name. So they're switching the name, like Michelle said, to Big Cat. But it's still a full restaurant. They're just simply asking for the 2 a.m. that they had asked for a few years ago. And since they're doing this name change and menu change, they figured now is a good time to come back and ask for the hours.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone? Okay, David, go ahead.
So could you summarize that? It was a few years ago they got a license, but were they operating continuously? I remember not seeing them, but there was a lot that wasn't really open.
Yeah, so they were open July 2019 and operated for almost 10 months. And then the pandemic hit, of course, and everyone was forced to close. I think it was 9 months. And then the pandemic hit. They then reopened when they were allowed to reopen for 2 months. So I guess that takes you to a total of 11 months. And then they were forced to close fully. And here we are today.
But what forced them to close, and they're still closed?
They're still closed. Circumstance of the pandemic.
What?
So is it
They were forced to close by the government or something. Go ahead.
No, at first they were when everyone was, and then it wasn't a government force. Then it was just
Right. So it seems to me like they weren't open for roughly a year. recently?
Well, it was 9 months and then 2 months, so 11 months is the number of the months of operation.
So the
yes.
months without operation has been about 2 years.
Jesse, perhaps you can opine when you last shut your doors.
Yeah, that would have been about, I'd say 18 months ago. Yeah, as Phil mentioned, we made an attempt to reopen, and just the ebb and flow of the pandemic was too hard to manage and too hard to guess. So we had to shut down again out of prudence, and we're just now getting ramped up again to reopen. We're excited to come back in the neighborhood.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Any other questions from the committee?
Phil, is that the same owners from the original Calexico?
Yes, I believe so. No ownership changes.
Okay.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Anyone from the committee before we see if there's anyone here from the public? Nope. Okay. If there's anyone here to speak on this agenda item from the public for 99 Second Avenue, Calexico, please raise your Zoom hand now, and I will call on you in the order I see you. Okay. I am not seeing anybody. So I am going to share the stipulations on my screen so that the committee and the applicants can make sure we're all in agreement on the stipulations. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so Phil, just make sure everything looks okay. Full service restaurant, Asian Latin cuisine, open till 2 a.m. all days, outdoor cafe closing by 10 p.m. Soundproofing already installed. You'll close the front and rear facade doors at 10 p.m. every night or when amplified sound is playing. No DJs, no live music, no promoted events, no event with a cover feed, no scheduled performances, ambient recorded background music only. Happy hour allowed till 7, no wait line, staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, no unlimited drink specials, and as I said, no outdoor dining closed at 10 p.m. and no speakers or TV monitors.
Looks good to me. Jesse, do you have any objections to those stipulations? They're pretty standard.
No, I don't. That sounds perfect.
Okay, fabulous. Committee, any questions? Okay, I'll stop share. All right, committee, hearing no further objections, questions, or comments, I will move this to a vote. Alterations 2 a.m. every night. Okay, Michelle, yes. Jeanette. Jeanette. Jesse.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Jamie.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Jeanette. She's on. All right. She can vote at the vote when she comes back. Okay, so but the motion will carry because either way, if she votes no, it'll be 5-1. So thank you everyone for your time. We'll send you the stipulations tomorrow morning.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Yep. Okay, next one we're gonna do is, what did I say? Number 11, Madam Vo.
That is me as well.
Okay, are your clients here?
Jimmy.
Present.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yep, I see. Great.
Hi all. Okay, I'm gonna drop the application in the chat so everyone can follow along if they so choose. Okay. So this is an application for an upgrade to a full on-premises liquor license for the restaurant doing business as Madame Vo at 212 East 10th between First Avenue and Second Avenue. Certificate of occupancy of 74 people, 14 tables and 48 seats with one bar with 14 seats. It's Vietnamese food prepared in a full kitchen, food during all hours of operation, no TV is. There are 16 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet. This is, okay, so the applicant had applied for a full on-premises in November 2016, but the committee asked for them to be okay with wine beer license because the location had never fully been licensed before. Stipulations were closing at 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday. And they would not use, there were issues with the backyard that they promised to address, including some, and they would install soundproofing. The applicant got the wine beer license in January 2017, has been operating since then with no complaints known to the community board and no SLA disciplinary history. We found one commercial 301 complaint since 2018. We did not receive any letters for or against this application, but we did have 18 residents within 2 blocks who signed an application. Phil, are you proposing to close at 11 p.m. all nights now? Is that right?
No, I was actually under the impression that the original STIPs from 2016 were 11 across the board, but we're
You'll keep those? Okay, sorry, I just maybe miscopied it. Okay, so that would be, so proposing to still close 11 p.m. Sunday to Thursday and 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday?
correct.
Okay,
Correct.
cool.
And if you need us to amend the document, we're happy to do that.
Oh, no, I think I just might have miscopied from the application.
Okay.
So no backyard, but can use open restaurants out front, closing by 10 p.m. Ambient background music. It's a restaurant. Anything to clarify there, Phil or Jimmy?
No, once again, you did a great job recapping. This is a similar application. My client came in 5 years ago, and the committee had said, come back when you have a little more experience. And here we are 5 years later. And Jimmy's run a great restaurant in the neighborhood. He's become very close with a lot of the neighbors, has done a lot of philanthropy, helping to serve meals to first responders, help raise money for kids' school supplies in the neighborhood. So he really feels a part of this community, and he's hoping he can ramp up his method of operation a little bit to have full liquor.
Great, thanks. Does anyone from the committee have any questions about this application? Okay. Is there anyone here from the community or from the public, I should say, who would like to speak on this item, number 11, 212 East 10th Street, upgrade for Madame Vo? Please raise your Zoom hand. Okay. Seeing nobody, committee, you're good to vote on this? Okay, so let me just share the stipulations, make sure everything looks good. Okay, just to recap, upgrade to a full liquor license for Madame Vo, serving Vietnamese food. Let me fix this, Bill, about the closing hours. Sidewalk cafe hours for open restaurants may be closing by 10 p.m. all nights, closing front or rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. every night. No DJs, live music, promoted events, event with a cover fee or scheduled performances. It'll play ambient recorded background music only. No drink specials, no happy hour specials, no unlimited drink specials, no wait lines, staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering. closing all outdoor dining allowed under temporary open restaurants program by 10 p.m. and no speakers or TV monitors. Almost identical to our last one. Anything to fix there, Phil?
No, looks good to me. Jimmy, you okay with all those?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay. Committee, anything to add? Okay, cool. I'm going to stop sharing. All right, committee, hearing no further questions or comments, I'm going to move this for a vote. Again, this is the upgrade for Madam Vo. Michelle, yes. Jeanette,
Yes.
David Green,
Yes.
Jesse Beck,
Yes.
Jamie Felber,
Yes.
and last but not least, Paul Siros.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all for your time. We'll send stipulations tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate your efficiency with these meetings, and welcome to all the new members.
Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you guys at the restaurant someday. Please let me know.
Thanks. All right, have a good night. Okay, the next one I'm gonna do, sorry for jumping around, is number 7, Izakaya Juraku, 121 Ludlow Street. Is the applicant here? Please unmute yourself. You can identify yourself.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi,
Can you-
okay, great. Yep. All right, application in the chat. If you'd like to follow along. Okay. Here we are, another upgrade request. This one is for Izakaya Juraku at 121 Ludlow Street between Rivington and Delancey Street. There's a certificate of occupancy of 74 people, 20 tables and 57 seats, one bar with 12 seats. It's a Japanese izakaya cuisine prepared in a full kitchen, served during all hours of operation, which is opening at 11 a.m. all days and closing by 12 a.m. all days, which I believe is what they're operating under now. There are 30 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet, according to the SLA lamp map. The applicant has held a wine beer license at this location since June 2018, with closing hours at 12 a.m. all night and only the recorded background music, which is the same that they're asking for now. This applicant also has a wine beer license at 251 West 72nd Street and a full on-premises license at 115 East 57th Street since August 2017. We did not find a SLA disciplinary history for either one. 17 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor. A representative of the LAS dwellers wrote in opposition to this application because the premises has never had a full on-premises license. Anything to correct there, Kyle?
No corrections there. If it's okay, there's a few things I just kind of want to clarify and talk about.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, first of all, just kind of who we are. We are a sit-down restaurant, full service restaurant with kitchens operating from open till close. So whenever we're serving alcohol, we are also serving food. We predominantly do, a majority of our sales, I should say, are in food. I would say roughly 75% of our sales are in food. And really what we're trying to bring to the neighborhood has been approachable introduction to Japanese food and beverages with kind of comfort Japanese food. And really through COVID, we had quite a bit of challenges. The Lower East Side, especially our block, I feel we had quite a few challenges where a lot of people moved out and not many people were coming to the city. So we were heavily affected by the effects of COVID. And that is one big reason we would like to upgrade our license and hopefully try to, it will really help us keep or make our ends meet there. And we are not really looking to, I think our block might have a little bit of a negative image when it comes to restaurants on the street. I feel that in the past, pre-COVID, a lot of them have operated under the guise of being a restaurant, but have ultimately transitioned to in a club late night. We are not looking to do that. Rather, we are just trying to supplement what we currently offer as far as introducing New Yorkers to Japanese culture, food, and beverage.
Great, thanks. Anyone from the committee have any questions for the applicant or about this application?
I know the application. I know the place. I like it. I'm pro this application.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you very much.
Seems like a pretty clearly a restaurant that's been operating as a restaurant for a long time and closing at 12 a.m. So I'm not very concerned by this. Anyone else from the committee? Okay. Is there anyone from the public who is here to speak on this item, number 7, 121 Ludlow? Okay, seeing no hands, I'm going to share the stipulations form for this application. Okay. Should this be your name on here, Kyle?
No, that is Juraku. He is the main partner in the operations.
Okay, but you'll be on the license as well?
I am the managing partner.
Okay, so you'll be on the license?
No, I believe all licenses are under his name, and he is present in here as well.
Oh, he is. Okay, okay, great. Sorry, that
Hi,
just
I'm-
wanted to make sure that we need to have the actual license holder present.
Yes, I believe he's in here under Z.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. Hi, Jack. Okay, fabulous. Okay, so this is liquor, wine, beer, and cider for 121 Ludlow Street. It's Japanese izakaya with food during all hours of operation, opening at 11 a.m. and closing by 12 a.m. all days. They have outdoor dining and must close by 10 p.m. all nights. They will close their front or rear facade doors at 10 p.m. every night or when amplified sound is playing. They will not have DJs, live music, promoted events, any event with a cover fee or scheduled performances, no more than 2 televisions. They'll play ambient recorded background music only. No unlimited drink specials, no pub crawls. If they have a happy hour, it must end by 6. No wait lines. And they'll have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering. They'll close, as I already said, close all outdoor dining for temporary open restaurants by 10 p.m. and no speakers or TV monitors. And I pulled this from your application that you'll use a texting system to mitigate any crowding by patrons in front of the premises. Does that sound good?
Yes, exactly. So we are doing reservation and wait lists only via text, and then we have restaurants or bars in the area we suggest they go to while they wait for their table. Also, if I could clarify on the TV, we are in no way a sports bar. That is actually just playing ambient anime in the background.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, committee, any concerns? Okay, I will stop sharing. Okay, committee. Hearing. Oops, sorry.
My hand up.
Sorry, what?
I guess I didn't see you get my hand up, but
Oh, no.
all right, I understand that they've been operating a while, and that's good. And they're actually, although there was a letter, there was nobody here from the committee speaking about it, but there's a lot of licenses in that area. 31 within 500 feet. You know, I don't know what to say. That would be concerning to me if it was new as a business, or if there were people had come to the meeting, but they didn't. So anyway, I don't know if there is any rationale that the SLA would listen to not put it here. The fact is that it's oversaturated in that area.
Well, I would say that we find that really the problems are not necessarily wine, beer versus OP. It's a lot of times the stipulations that they have around that. So the fact that it is clearly a restaurant that closes at midnight.
Yeah. It's true. Maybe that's why people haven't shown up. Yeah.
May I say something on that, please?
Sure.
So I've been on that block now for just over 4 years, I believe. Now March 28th is when we opened. And with my experience with that heavy saturation of liquor licenses, we've been on the short end of the stick on that as well. I feel we have had, people stumbling in and, wanting to use the bathroom and pee all over the bathroom. And that's something pre-COVID, we did have to kind of learn how to deal with. That was completely new to me. I had been predominantly working multi-Michelin in Midtown, John George, David Blaze, places like that. So it was something very, very new to me. And I feel that that is not an issue we've had with our customer base. It's rather we're dealing with outside forces, and it's not necessary. And we've quite learned how to handle customers, or they're not really customers, but people coming through who might be overly intoxicated. I have trained our entire staff to not overserve, and a general majority of our customers are not looking there to get hammered. We're really, to give you an example, our craft beers are $12 and $14. They're not something somebody's going to be, doing sake bombs with for the most part.
So I guess, Michelle, I don't know how to think about this because I don't have years of experience here. If this license does get created, and then a few years from now, there's a new applicant, it is now a previously licensed location, and the new applicant has a very different business model and wants to close at 2 a.m. What can the committee do at that time?
I mean, I think we passed the resolution a couple of months ago about how we will restrict stipulations, like have strict stipulations in areas like this. We typically look at the past method of operation, so not just what the OP is, but also the stipulation. So in this case, this is clearly a restaurant. I don't think that, I mean, I can't predict the future, but the idea would be to try and keep it similar.
Will we have the leverage to be able to do that in the future with the SLA? I mean, I'm asking you to speculate, given the composition of the SLA changing and so forth.
It's hard to say, but I'm saying as we have this guidance that we pass as a board saying that we want to have low impact licenses in areas like this, and I would certainly consider this the lowest impact version of a license. So
I agree with that. I'm just, in the future, will we be able to hold the SLA to be? Does it increase the likelihood of a subsequent applicant succeeding? One that is not going to.
I mean, I think that if someone came in and said they wanted a 4 a.m. license, there'd be a pretty good reason to not do it. But Susan, I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah, I would say it would depend on the place. If we want to deny a license because of a history or a type of method of operation or anything of that sort, I think we would have leverage. But right now you're having a discussion about possibly denying or approving a license because of what someone else may do in the future. And I think legally, you can't have this conversation and go up to the SLA and say, we don't want to approve because of something that someone else might do in the future.
Yeah, it really is. If we have leverage now to stop it, since I think it will reduce our leverage later to stop another one. That's kind of what.
Can I just say you just approve a number of upgrades in very saturated areas tonight? So how is this different?
One on 10th Street was not that saturated. There were 3 licenses within 500 feet instead of 31.
But the others?
The other one, I actually forgot what it
was. On 2nd Avenue, I think.
No, that was not an upgrade. That was an alteration.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I am fine with it. Thanks for helping me to think it through.
Sure.
Michelle, may I?
Go ahead.
Obviously, I know that block very well, seeing as how I have a restaurant on that block, almost diagonally opposite. And the more restaurants, the more businesses that attract 7-day-a-week customers, the better it is for the neighborhood, the less likely that the more people around in that neighborhood, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which right now there aren't that many, the better off that the whole neighborhood is in being able to keep places that are true restaurants, that are full liquor only till midnight, I think it, draws more people and gives more of a reason to operate there during the week in more establishments that I think that community and the neighborhood would appreciate, rather than, leaving it empty and then possibly having to deny a 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. license in the future.
Thanks, Jamie. Okay, anyone else from the committee? I'm gonna say I have no problem with this. So anyone else from the committee have any questions, comments, concerns before we move to a vote? Okay, moving this to a vote then. Michelle, yes. Jeanette? Jeanette? Dave, there you go.
Yes.
Okay. David Crane.
Took out the buffer above segments or said additional MRS.
David Crane.
Yes.
Sorry. Jamie Falber.
Yes.
Jesse Beck.
Yes.
Paul Siros.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your time. We'll send you stipulations tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go now to number 2, Chinese Tuxedo, Peachy's 5 Doyers Street. Are the applicants here?
Yes, we're here.
Hello. Okay. Okay. All right, this is an alteration to an existing location, which it's a little bit confusing, so I'll try to explain, which is that it's a interconnected bar and restaurant. It's a physical connection, so they're not 2 separate licenses, it's 1 license. There is a ground floor bar, a restaurant on the lower level, and then a bar with a specific name on the lower level. So I'll start with that. So the alteration is an ask to add, to extend hours to 2 a.m. all nights, add DJs at all levels, with sometimes entertainment level music in the lowest level, the bar, and to add security to security. And this is 5 Doyers Street between Pell and Bowery. So the existing certificate of occupancy is 200 people, 34 tables and 171 seats. The bar on the first floor, the ground floor is 40 feet. The bar in the basement is 25 feet. It's Cantonese, food prepared in a full kitchen, food served within 1 hour of closing, no televisions. And I already described the music. There are 8 full on-premises liquor licenses, including this one within 500 feet. Just to give a little bit of history, this applicant was denied a full on-premises license by Committee Board 3 in April 2015. The applicants then applied for a wine beer license, which they were granted with hours of operation of 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. all days. No outdoor stuff. Let's see, no DJs. Sorry, there were a lot of stipulations. I think that's all the key ones. And I think just, install soundproofing consistent with the recommendations of acoustic engineer. So that was October 2015. They got their license in November 2016 from the SLA. The applicant was denied a full on-premises license when they came back in October 2017, unless the applicant agreed to make its existing stipulation. So basically a denial but an approval. So they got their full on-premises in December 2017. Then there was a little bit of confusion around which of the bars were licensed in 2018. So that was sorted out in 2018. But when they came in 2018, the committee brought up that the applicant was having DJs in their bar, and yeah, that happened. Now they are back here to ask for DJs. sorry, I should say they were having DJs in 2018, but they said that they stopped before the meeting, but it appears that as now they're back to ask for DJs to be part of the legal method of operation. In looking at the applicant's social media and Yelp reviews, it seems that they are doing DJs now in contravention to their stipulations. They advertise it on their Instagram pretty plainly that they're having DJs there. There was one commercial 301 complaint with action necessary since 2018. We received a note from a representative of the Chinatown Core in opposition because the applicant is operating in contravention to its stipulations. And we also received a note from another resident of Chinatown who wrote in support of the application because the applicant has operated in a responsible manner and has taken noise mitigation steps by fully soundproofing the lower level bar. I apologize. I think you guys sent me an updated questionnaire, but it was just too late. I counted 9. If you want to count them and send us if highlighted, that would be helpful, but I have 9 right now. And so they're just basically asking to add DJs at all levels, background level at the ground floor bar and the restaurant, and then sometimes entertainment level in the lower level, and asking to extend their closing hours for everywhere within there till 2 a.m. all nights. I know that was a lot. I apologize. I think I forgot to drop the chat, the questionnaire in the chat. This is probably the most important one to do that, so I will do that now. Joseph, do you have anything to, or do you guys have anything to clarify there or add? I know this was a little bit of a complicated one.
Hey, Michelle, thanks. That was a pretty good recap. I think you hit everything more or less correctly. Just for the record, I will note that back in 2018, when we did appear before the board and we did stop using DJs, that is true. We did actually stop at that moment, and the only time any DJs were present in the space was in the event where there was a private event. It wasn't a regular method of operation change. And the inclusion of DJs more recently is really a post-COVID hope to bring people back out and get back on our feet here kind of thing. And the fact that people seem to like it is why we're here trying to incorporate it into our regular method of operation. Again, the DJs on the ground floor and the lower restaurant level, which you mentioned, is really at background level. It's just really, it's not an iPod, it's someone actively curating the list, the playlist, nothing really more than that. But on the lower level, which is soundproofs, which is beneath the restaurant, we would like to go to entertainment level at some points. But again, we have a fully seated restaurant above, so we're not looking to disturb diners. So this is more just for ambiance downstairs, and we're very responsible with it and mindful of noise generally throughout the restaurant. And if anyone ever does make a complaint or call us or bring anything to our attention, it's always dealt with pretty swiftly. But there really have been very few incidents, if any, where that's even happened. And I have the whole team here with me in my conference room to answer any questions that you might have.
Great, thank you. Committee, do you have any questions for these folks? Or I have something I wanted to say, but I don't know if you guys want me to go first or.
Why does it need to be a DJ in every single floor? And why is there DJs now?
So presently, hi, my name is Andrew. So presently the DJ is in the lower level. And
should a DJ be there? No.
Sorry?
Is it in the liquor license that a DJ is there?
No, they're Paul, their stipulations now say no DJs.
No DJs. Okay, so the DJ shouldn't be there to begin with.
So we're here to bring the license up to date to say that we would have DJs. Again, just to reiterate, this was something that we brought on post-COVID as we reopened the restaurant and bar. And this is something that has worked out. We wanted to update our license to reflect that.
So I asked you a question. It's a yes or a no. Is the DJ in your license now?
No, which is why we're here.
Okay, but there's a DJ there now, correct?
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah, Paul, I mean, that's the, like, so I want to hear if there's anyone, what I would like to hear is if there's any, Susan, I saw you had your hand up. Did you do that by accident? Okay. So we did not, Susan, thanks to Susan in the office, they searched to see if there were any complaints about the location. Did not find any. And there were, as I said, there's only, I think, 1 301 complaint that had action necessary. So like on one hand, is the method of operation, causing problems? It seems like potentially not. So I wanted to see if there's anyone here from the public to speak on it. But then on the other hand, obviously they knew that they were not supposed to do this. They were told that in 2018, the stipulations have not changed since then, and they're doing it anyway. So, we always say we strive for education. They should have been educated or on the first round. So that's how I'm feeling right now. If you're okay with it, I'd like to go to members of the public if they have anything to add on this. Is that okay?
Yeah, I just want to say that I actually like the place. So I think they'll do good regardless.
Okay. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Okay, the first hand I see is Core. Core, go ahead.
Hi, so I'm here as a representative of the Chinatown Core Block Association. We feel it's clear that these guys cannot be trusted, and it's well documented on the CB3 vote sheet from 2018. When they first opened in 2015, they were denied their OP, and they chose to go directly to the SLA rather than abide by that decision. They were granted a beer and wine with the stipulation that they wait 18 months before applying for an OP, which they refused to do. They were, it's well documented that they opened Peachy and operated it as a separate entity, contrary to their stipulations, including featuring DJs there, before attempting to retroactively legalize it. Now they come before you requesting later hours, DJs, live music, at least according to the questionnaire I read, live music, and later hours. When it's clear that they've been featuring DJs, live music, even a couple of burlesque performances since at least last year. They've been demonstrating lack of respect for the community board repeatedly over the years, and it sets a really bad precedent for CB3 to reward this. There are problems on their questionnaire. They fail to indicate whether they have French doors, which they do. They do not specify what kind of live music, how often events will take place. They want security personnel every day, which implies they're planning to have a lot of events. And the plan to close at 2 a.m. is problematic because the other 2 OPs that are right next door also close at 2 a.m. on the weekends. So the one concern we have about that is that everybody's coming out at the same time.
Thanks, Cora. Can I just ask you, just as I said before, have you had are there problems with the operation right now? Are they causing noise issues or anything like that for the neighborhood?
The problem we have with it is that they're being repeatedly rewarded for refusing to abide by their stipulations. So if they're granted live music, we have no faith that whatever they agree to, they will stick with. That's the problem for the community block association.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next hand, and I should say that they're not asking for live music anymore. It's just DJs, as I said, on all the levels, as I mentioned before. Okay, the next hand Susan, do you want to say something before Carl?
Yeah, I just would like to clear up a misconception that I hear a lot. When the community board does not support a license, we certainly wish everybody would listen to us, but the process is for them to go to the SLA if they still want a license. They're not doing anything wrong or going around us. That is the legal process.
Okay, thanks, Susan. Okay, the next hand I see is Carlin Chan. Carlin, go ahead.
Hi, good evening. I'm speaking in support of the application to add the at the later hours and also to the DJ in the lower levels. The Chinese Tuxedo opened 4 years ago, and they've had a pretty good track record. There are no record of complaints at the 5th precinct, which is the Chinese Tuxedo falls under, and they have shown that they will cooperate with this neighborhood. I originally opposed this application back in 2015, but when we worked, we sat down, we worked it out. They applied for full liquor. It was turned down by CB3, and they went back and applied for wine and beer. They operated for 13 months before they upgraded to the OP, and since then they've been a good community partner. Now this is now a grandfathered location, and I'd rather keep a good partner in the community than lose when they have a bad operator come in. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Colin. Okay, anyone else in the community here to speak on this item number 2, Chinese Tuxedo? Peaches, please raise your hand. I'm not seeing any other hands right now.
Michelle, do you want me to address anything before you wrap up? Because I can.
Sure, go ahead.
I was just a point of clarification. I was not the original attorney of record on the original application. And just to address something that someone from the Chinatown Corp mentioned, this original application was actually filed incorrectly, not by these guys, but by the individual who filed it. And the whole thing was a mess. And when I got involved with them in 2017 or so, we filed a number of applications to actually bring the space into compliance. It had licensed a bar that wasn't even operable yet. All the floors were messed up. So we've been back to the community board a number of times. And while you could certainly make a comment about the DJs and that we'll have to own because we're adults and that's what we do, some of the things were actually not their fault. And we self-reported and brought the application into compliance before there were issues or before anyone told us to do so. So there was an element of good faith here that I think is important just for people to know.
Thanks. Okay, I'm not seeing any other hands from the community. Does anyone from the committee want to discuss this or ask any other questions at this moment?
I'll just jump in and just kind of point out that I think there's some things in their favor right now, like Carlin talking now that, because I remember Carlin, you had the thing saying that you weren't in favor of it or opposed to it, and now being in favor of it. I think that speaks something to the 2 a.m. let out there is on that, since it's all pedestrian, you can go either way on that street. So it isn't necessarily, it would just be blocked on one end if we're worrying that extra hour now being out at 2 would cause a junction there. And I do think that these guys have proven to be good actors. To Susan's point, there wasn't anything nefarious in what they did when it came to that. And I think an hour after proving themselves to be good actors is not a big reach for me.
I agree with.
Thanks, Jesse. Okay, I would suggest that maybe we if we're gonna, just as a something we could say about the downstairs is maybe we could say entertainment levels only on the weekend or something, only Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that, just to put a little bit of
Hey, Michelle, sounds good.
Okay, committee, would that be amenable?
I'm all for it.
I mean, yeah, if they want it, I guess that's fine.
Okay.
But don't be any noise complaints. We're just doing this as a.
Well, they don't have entertainment level music right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I feel like if it's okay and they want to come back and ask like for it every night, you know, like there's no noise complaints or anything, it's that they're asking for the entertainment level. So it's not the DJ's thing, it's the level of the music.
Okay. Yeah, I would do like a Thursday, you thinking like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
David, go ahead.
Sure, you'll get to it when you talk about the STIPs, but this has got to be an old building, right? Soundproofing. The standard things. we
Yeah,
have.
so
That-
they've added soundproofing. Joseph, do you want to talk about that?
Sure, there's been soundproofing done, a couple of rounds of it. Do you guys want to give some insight into what was done?
It's all soundproof in pretty much like the entire space already.
It was engineered for the initial build, and then when Peachy started operating, we re-upped the Peachy space as well. So, and we have great relationships with the neighbours upstairs. There are interior iron columns, so we need to be super thoughtful of it because the reverb can go up. But like Carl, John, all those who live upstairs, we talk to them. They don't know the venues operating when it's operating. There's soundproofing on both levels now between the venues and then from Tuxedo and the rest of the building.
Okay, thanks.
David,
Anyone else from the committee have any questions? Paul, go ahead.
No, just want to say to David that they are right. The way the place is built, there won't be any problem with the sound.
Or from our resident soundproofing expert, Paul.
I've been there so many times. It's a really nice place. The way they build it, you won't have a problem as long as it doesn't, you know.
Yeah, David, it's not like a old tenement building. It's a very different type of building. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else from the committee have any questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Okay, cool. Let me just share. I'm gonna have to just modify this slightly with the entertainment level. May play entertainment till level Thursday through Saturday only. All days. All right, let's see. Hopefully this isn't totally inelegant. Okay. Okay. So as we talked about, this is an existing liquor, wine, beer, cider license at 5 Doyers for 8 Tuxedos Inc. Kitchen open and serving food within 1 hour of closing. The difference in the hours is till 2 a.m. instead of 1 a.m. and they're adding to security. So, and then for the music, it will have ambient background music only consisting of recorded music in the ground floor stand-up bar and lower level restaurant, which may be curated by a DJ. And it may play entertainment level music when Thursday to Saturday in the lower level bar, which may be curated by a DJ. I'm just gonna do, I hope that this is clear enough. Susan, if you think that this is gonna be confusing, tell me. And background level music Sunday to Wednesday. Susan, do you think that's okay?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
It's okay. I'm just trying to distinguish that they can have entertainment level music Thursday to Saturday and background level music Sunday to Wednesday in the lower level bar, lower level bar. Is that clear enough? You think?
Sounds clear to me.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you. No drink specials, no happy hour, no wait lines, staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, and you're not going to have outdoor dining, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, applicants, does this all look right?
That's good. Good on my end. Thank you.
Okay. Committee, any questions, comments, concerns about the STIPs? Okay, anyone from the committee have anything before we move to a vote? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to move us to a vote. Michelle Coopersmith, yes. Jeanette Kim,
Yes.
Jesse Beck,
Yes.
David Crane,
Yes.
Jamie Felber,
Yes.
Paul Siros.
Yes.
Okay, thanks everyone for your time. Thank you for those who came up from the community.
Nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. Come see us.
Thanks,
Yep,
guys.
we'll send you the stipulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to number 10, 208 Avenue A. I know that there are people here to speak on that. Are the applicants here for number 10?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, here.
Hi, Frank. Okay, let me drop the questionnaire. Okay. Getting too old to look at this at 100. Okay. So this is an application for a removal of the license, the existing full on premises license at Keybar at 432 East 13th Street between First Avenue and Avenue A to the corner, 208 Avenue A. Is it in the corner of 13th? Or
Yes.
12th? Corner of 13th, okay. It's been a long time since I lived on Avenue A. And so the new location has an LNO of 74 people, 12 tables and 50 seats, 26-foot L-shaped bar with 9 seats, pizza and grill menu prepared in a food prep area, food during all hours of operation, which will be 12 p.m. To 4 a.m. all days. There are 8 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet per the lamp map. This location that they're proposing to move to at 208 Avenue A has never been licensed for a full on-premises liquor license, was most recently Cafe Ben A, which had a wine beer license, which was approved by this board in 2015. Before that, it was a laundromat. So this applicant has been a license holder for Keybar at its current location at 432 East 13th Street since October 2002. It had a SLA history for not filing its trade name. Sorry, it was dinged for not filing its trade name, but they were not found guilty of that SLA problem. We found no 301 complaints at this location since 2019. We received letters from 8 residents of Upper Avenue A stating noise concerns around the operation at Keybar and asking for a denial of the removal because of the history of quality of life issues on Upper Avenue A. We also received a letter from the East 13th Ave Block Association, which voted in opposition to this application because, quote, we do not need another noisy bar on Avenue A. Just to remind everyone, we did adopt guidance in September 2020 about not generally granting license to previously unlicensed with OP licenses in unsaturated areas. We specifically called out Avenue A in that resolution. 177 residents within 2 blocks signed a petition in favor. Thank you, Jeanette, for counting those. And I think that that's it. Anything to clarify there?
Yes, pretty much that this is it. Yes.
Okay. I mean, if anyone's been to Keybar, like, you know the deal. I've been there. So I assume that you're proposing a similar method of operation at this new location.
Identical.
Okay. Do you mind me asking why you're moving? Because we actually have an application for your old location tonight as well. I'm just trying to understand what happened.
You know, we don't want to move, but our landlord is we just cannot agree on a reasonable lease, you know. We just have to move. You know, it's a difficult decision for us because we love our location, we love our neighbors, we have an incredible relationship with everyone in the building. You know, we've been there for 20 years. We don't want to move, but we have to.
Okay. I figured that was the case, but I just wanted to ask because obviously this is, per what I said, not the ideal location, the new one, because it has not been previously licensed before. I mean, from the perspective of the guidance that we passed. Okay, anyone from the committee have any questions or want to discuss this? Or do you want to go to the public?
And a quick question. You mentioned something about a DBA issue. What was that?
The license had, when
trade-
the license was issued 20 years ago, it didn't have the DBA name on it. Was never added. So they got a violation for using the trade name.
Oh, all right.
It was a minor, very minor infraction.
Yeah, and you're found not guilty, I think, per the SLA. Okay, anyone else from the committee have any questions? Okay, let's go to the public then. Please raise your hand if you're here to speak on this item. Again, this is number 10, 208 Avenue A. Please raise your Zoom hands if you're here to speak on this item. Okay, Dale, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Dale Goodson. I'm the president of the North Avenue A Neighborhood Association, and I live across the street from 208 Avenue A. We are urging the committee to deny this application that has no public benefit at an address that has never had a full license, liquor license, in a neighborhood that already has 6 bars from 13th to 14th Street and 8 licenses within 500 feet. There are also 2 pending licenses, one across the street at 210 Avenue A, which CB3 approved but with strong stipulations, and another license 3 doors down at 202 Avenue A. On May 11th, our block association met with Keybar owner Jula Burtok. We expressed concern that for years, the noise and crowds on Avenue A have had a devastating effect on our quality of life, and it is his bar would only be adding to that. He admitted it would add to the noise, but felt it was a good location for them. We also expressed concern that Keybar has had a history of a few noise complaints every year since 2012, where the police have had to take action. Lastly, they haven't had any experience with outdoor seating, and this is an especially big problem with bars and noise from bar patrons sitting outside. It's already out of control on weekends. So tonight we're asking the committee to deny this application. We just don't need another bar on the block, especially at an address that has never had a full liquor license.
Thank you, Dale. Okay, anyone else here to speak on this item, number 10, 208 Avenue A? Please raise your hand.
Hi. Yes, hi.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm not sure how to raise the hand on the.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Sorry. I live in the current building at the moment, and I believe we're there. I think the concerns are really around noise and other things of that sort. I've lived there for over 2 years now, and have found it to really not be the current ownership to be good, take care of the area. Really haven't had any issues. I know there's some general concerns on Avenue A, but I mean, there are other bars there, but I don't really see that impacting. You're really only moving a bar half a block, so I'm not sure how that's any different. But yeah, no, I think they're great guys, and I'm very supportive of it. I've lived in the building above them, and I've really not had an issue ever. So, and yeah, I'm not sure what else how else this works, but I just wanted to get on when I was at a meeting and I was talking to a couple of the owners and wanted to at least give my have a chance to say something on their behalf.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, I see another hand. Rob, go ahead. Rob? Okay, Rob, I see your hand, but you're not unmuted if you're trying to speak.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Rob, and I live right across the street, probably 20 feet away from that location. And that area is already saturated with bars. And I strongly agree with Dale. please disapprove the application on this area. Yeah, it doesn't bring any good to the neighborhood. It's just all noise. And right below me, there's a pending application that I'm dealing with. And that bar, the previous bar, Percy's, destroyed our quality of life. So I'm pleading, please deny the application. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Susan, do you mind, just because you've had to deal with some of these issues, do you mind just talking about Upper Avenue A?
Sure.
Thank you.
But let me clarify, is this where Percy's was previously?
No, it's across this Percy's,
the
the
street.
other, is that's Relax at Blondie's, yeah.
Okay, most of Avenue A is beyond a disaster. I think we have, there are many complaints all the time to the board in general about Avenue A because a lot of it's on the street, as well as some specific bars, but a lot of it is people coming out on the street and going between bars. There's huge crowds at night. You can barely walk on the sidewalk. I think in the resolution that we passed, we specify Avenue A as a problem area. And in the past, actually last time I went up to SLA, it was when we were denying a license on Avenue. I think it was a previously unlicensed spot, I'm not sure. But it was because of a denial. And what the SLA, I'm going to say in a sense, supported us. They approved it, but with stipulations that I don't think any business could stay open under. So it is very definitely, I am, as we speak, dealing with problems on Avenue A.
Thanks, Susan. Okay, anyone from the, oh, Laura, go ahead.
Thanks, sorry. I just want to add to that, that this building, the new location is constructed in 1900, and the method of operation at Keybar really relies heavily on DJ music many nights a week and until the wee hours. And I think that in combination with the a corner sidewalk seating location, so sidewalk seating on both sides, it just makes it even more reasons for it not being suitable in such a saturated area. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name's Andrew Freeborn. I'd like to say something on behalf of Keybar. I'm a resident of 432 East 13th Street. I live directly above Keybar. I've lived there for 10 years and I've never had any problem whatsoever with noise from the inside, any DJ music whatsoever. Again, I live on the street, so if there were noise from it, I would hear that. Again, I've been a resident for 10 years, and I've never had a problem with that. And I also know that Attila tends to make great efforts to make sure that guests do not congregate outside of his establishment and make noise. And I've never had an issue, again, in 10 years of residency. Also, I would say that Attila takes great care of the outside front of the building, better than the actual owners of the building, and make sure that it's clean, clear of debris, any sort of cigarettes or anything like that. I've never seen a problem with that. So again, my name's Andrew Freeborn, and I'm happy to, put in any written statement that, to corroborate that testimony. So thank you.
Thank you. Susan, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say there have been complaints about Keybar, not recently, and certainly not as many as some others. But the issue is not just the individual bars and whether they're good actors or not. It's the fact of so many. This is a residential area. I mean, it's zoned for bars, but it's still a residential area. And the issue is the number of bars. The area cannot accommodate more traffic, more pedestrians. I mean, as it is now, there's walls of honking horns because the traffic is backed up from Houston. Those are the conditions that we're looking at. We're looking at people on the street. So it is, one issue is the bar, the other issue is the area.
Right, his current location is
Excuse me, I'm
actually
not
about.
having-
Excuse me. Sorry, this is not
We're
a
not having a
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Susan. All right, anyone else from the public here, raise your Zoom hand. I'm not seeing anyone else right now. Okay. All right, committee. What are your thoughts here?
I don't know, as someone who read the million signatures, it seems like they've done the community outreach. I know that's not, fully encompassing, but there are people who were made aware of the situation who signed off on it. So that's just my little too long, but
Okay, so Jeanette, what are you leaning?
I'm leaning yes, but if there are ways to make sure that this committee reaches consensus, I'd be very amenable to that.
Okay, David, go ahead.
4 a.m. bar on that block. We can't do it. I don't think there's any way that we can do that.
Jamie, go ahead.
I completely understand what David's saying. There's something that seems inherently wrong about killing a bar because their landlord, they can't come to an agreement with their landlord, and they've been around for what, 20 plus years? Just
yes, 20 years.
20 years, and how many 311 complaints in the last 4? Michelle, what did you say?
I think we had one with action necessary.
I mean, this is not the problem, in my personal estimation. It seems wrong for it seems like this is somebody who's not had any real issues, isn't known to the community board, does good enough business that they've outlived almost every other bar in the neighborhood, and now we deny them because their landlord's screwing them. It just feels wrong to me. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. Paul, go ahead.
I think Jamie's 100% right. You just can't kill 20. I mean, okay, everyone has their businesses, but now this guy, 20 years, and we just throw him in the garbage just like that. I mean, I think it's completely wrong. And it's not because I'm in the same business. I'm in a lot of different businesses, but this is ridiculous. I mean, if somebody's a good operator, and I understand what Susan's saying about a good actor, it's saturated, but what? So we went through all this thing right now, and we just take somebody and we just throw them in the garbage because somebody thinks what they think, but they make money, but this person can't make money, and what do we do? Okay, go back to what, selling cigarettes? I mean, are we serious right now? I'm for it. So
Okay. Thank you. David, go ahead.
So when we say things like the landlord is screwing him, is there something beyond raising the rent going on?
I take that. Okay.
If I may, David, how are you? If you know Keybar, it's an extraordinarily small bar. The extent of the landlord's increase after COVID is extraordinary. There's no way my client can possibly exist there. I don't know how anyone can. I mean, good luck to the applicant later on the calendar. But there's just no way this guy, after putting 20 years in the space, can pay the landlord nearly triple what he was paying. I don't know, what's the square footage of this place?
It is 600 square foot, 600. It's a living room.
Okay. All right. Thanks for clarifying. Okay. So I think
So
go ahead, Paul.
What are the hours again?
They're asking till 4 a.m.
So let's just do 2 a.m. Some days 4 a.m.
What are you proposing? Weekends 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Thursday to Sat.
Yeah. On
Okay.
Friday and Saturday, and then the rest of the day is 2 a.m. I'm sure they're closed anyway earlier.
I feel that's reasonable.
Okay.
Why are you paying a lawyer, by the way?
Frank, please.
Why are you paying a lawyer?
Okay, committee, I hear, I have to say this one more time. We passed guidance saying that we weren't going to approve licenses in unlicensed spaces on Avenue A. So I totally, listen, I feel like my hands are tied here and I feel like I have to vote no because of that. Because I mean, how does that work? If someone else comes, what are they gonna say? Like, I'm a longstanding member. So that's just my 2 cents. Like, the reason we did that guidance was to give like some guidance, for lack of a better word, to people who are applying for applications here, right? So that we don't have to make decisions on every single one, that we have some, some strictures that we can apply to make it fair. So I understand this is a longstanding bar with like, maybe not, whatever, I think that there's some differing opinions about that, the way that it impacts the neighborhood, which is fine. So I think, I have to just say that one more time. We included Avenue A specifically in the guidance that we passed, and I'll drop it in the chat just to remind everyone, we passed it in September 2021, that we would not approve generally. I guess, it's never absolute, so maybe this is the one, but I just need to say that as the chair. So all right, Jamie, go ahead.
I know we did that. I think that makes sense when you're talking about perhaps whatever. I think that we can't have and shouldn't have black and white carte blanche rules for anything. I think we should have guidance, and I agree we passed these. I think this is a unique and extenuating circumstance. There aren't many 20-year locations left in the East Village, so it's a short list that we would have to address this with. Are we legally allowed to have black and white rules like that as well?
No, which is why we have generally. So
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I know your hands are tied. I know you have to do, you have to do something in that respect. And I get it. Most of the time I would agree with you. I think this is a rather unique set of circumstances.
Okay, thanks. Jesse, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just second that. The guidance is not an edict. We did not, like Jamie said, that it is coming down on that. I think it should be guidance, but I also think things should be taken on a case-by-case basis. I think that and we're looking specifically at the case, and everything I'm hearing against is not against the actual owner or landlord. Everything is against the location and the space, which is also valid. Its location is what we take into account as well. But I feel more if the cases, they're great, they, for the most part, that we have people for them and they've proven to be a good neighbor. And then what's against is this area is a mess. I don't know how much that that means a no to them. So I think being a good neighbor, it's a guidance. So I feel with the stipulated hours that Paul proposed, I would be okay with that.
Okay, thanks, Jesse. David, I see your hand. Go ahead.
This is a uniquely bad location for us to create a 4 a.m. bar. We cannot do this, committee. We just can't. I hear what people are saying, and they want to be fair to this establishment that has been there for 20 years. Now, is that unique? Not totally unique. Is this block of Avenue A uniquely bad? Not totally, but it is terrible. And we just adding any sort of liquor establishment that opens at 4 a.m. that operates as a bar, not a restaurant, is going to be bad there, and we cannot do that to these people.
Thanks. Susan, go ahead.
I'd like to say something after you vote.
Okay.
Ominous.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna just vote on the resolution as 2:00 a.m. Sunday to Wednesday and 4:00 a.m. Thursday. Okay.
Dale has his hand up. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, Dale, do you have anything to add succinctly, please?
I would just like to emphasize, because there's people from the building who are saying they haven't had problems, but open data has a history of commercial noise violations from basically probably people across the street where police action has been taken. And it's yearly up into the pandemic where everything calmed down. But prior, they have a history of noise, commercial noise violations where police action was taken. So they're not completely this innocent bar there. And we're not saying don't have a bar somewhere in New York City. Just could you look for a better location that's not as hard, completely impacted already? Thank you.
Thanks, Dale. Laura, do you have anything to add? I feel like we've heard a lot about this.
I appreciate that. I haven't heard a word from the committee about soundproofing in this building. I haven't heard, any, the ship is sailing a little too quickly, I think. I don't think that we've paid close enough attention to some of the issues that have been raised, considering that as recently as 2018, residents of 432 were emailing the community board saying the thumping bass was torture. So I think we need to address sound proofing for the residents of the building. And I also, I just have to say that this business model works and the rent works because it's not a previously licensed location. How long is that going to last before the rent goes up? Once it has a full liquor license till 4 in the morning. It's just is not the policy our neighborhood needs.
All right, thanks, Laura.
Can I respond to the soundproofing?
Sure, yeah, that'd be helpful, thank you.
Yes, we are aware we need to put soundproofing here, and we're gonna put a professionally engineered soundproofing by a professional company. I also would like to address, like we work with DJs, yes, that's true, but Keybar is a social place and it's always been. And we never played such a loud music. We're not a club. We want our patrons to talk with each other. And this is a priority for us. So we have a very quality sound, and we're gonna install a very quality sound cut down by limiters, so it never can go higher than the city limit, professional soundproofing on the ceiling, and full control inside and outside. We are very aware of that. We're gonna have to do that. And we've been doing this successfully for 20 years.
Thanks. Okay. Would you be, a typical stipulation that we add on these circumstances is it will install soundproofing in consultation with a sound engineer so that no sound is audible in surrounding residences.
Yes, it's already on our application. We're gonna put soundproofing in.
Yeah, no, I just mean that this specific one, so that,
Yes.
Okay. Committee, do you want to add anything else in addition to that stipulation that we typically add around soundproofing? Okay. Okay, and it'll be you who's on the signing this, the license holder?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's not the, that's what the phone says. What's the proper spelling of your name?
Oh, the proper spell is G-Y-U-L-A.
L-A?
L-A, yes.
Okay. Okay. Changing the hours as the committee talked about. Okay, so just so we know what the application is, what we're voting on. It's moving Keybar to 208 Avenue A, full on premises, a bar, opening no later than 12 p.m. all days, and closing by 2 a.m. Sunday to Wednesday and 4 a.m. Thursday to Saturday. Any outdoor dining closes by 10 p.m. One doorman Thursday to Saturday. They will install soundproofing in consultation with the sound engineer so that no sound is audible in surrounding residences. Close any front or rear facade doors by 10 p.m. or when amplified sound is playing. No DJs, no live music, no promoted events, no event with a cover fee, no scheduled performances, no more than 8 private parties per month. It will only play ambient recorded background music. Any physical alterations will come back to us. No unlimited drink specials, no happy hour must end by 8, excuse me. It will not have wait lines outside. It will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering. And it will close all outdoor dining by 10 and no speakers or TV monitors. Frank, does that all look right?
It looks right to me.
Okay, committee, do you have anything to add or change here? Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry, stay my ducks in here. So much easier when we're back in person next month, everybody, right? Okay, moving this to a vote. Michelle, no. David Crane,
No.
Jesse Beck,
Yes.
Paul Siros,
Yes.
Jamie Felber,
Yes.
Jeanette Kim.
Yes.
Okay, so this motion carries. Stipulations as you just reviewed them will be sent to you tomorrow morning. Thanks for your time. Thanks for everyone from the community for coming. Susan, do you still want to speak?
Yes, because I want to address this in general, and I didn't think it was appropriate to do before the vote. Couple of things. One, Michelle is aware of this. About 2 weeks ago, a lawyer called me about a place in Lower Avenue A and whether the committee would support a full liquor license there. What I did is I read him my resolution. Because of that, he said, I'm advising my client not to apply, and they didn't. So one of the things you're doing is the people who respect our resolutions are the ones that are losing out. I don't believe it's fair to say we're screwing a business. What the resolution is doing is trying to direct them to an area that's not as saturated. You know, it's not like we're saying you can't renew it or you can't keep your business where it is. We're saying the location is a problem. Please look for a different location because we have to balance the needs of the businesses and the residents. That area for people that go to sleep before 4 a.m. and it won't impact me because I live on Lower Avenue A, but I know what Avenue A is like. It cannot accommodate one more person. And you know, basically your resolution now is, and this SLA respects that. So we're not even supporting our own resolution where we will have support. This is 4 a.m. You know, if you'd done it at 12, you know, it wouldn't add to the problems. Adding another 4 a.m. I'm going to say, I deal with the complaints. People are moving. They actually move because they can't stay there. And for people that are rent regulated, that's a really big deal. And I think the committee should look more carefully at the resolutions and not pass the resolution if you can't support it. And I think balancing the needs of people who have a right to some quality of life, you know, should be taken into consideration. And I didn't want to say that before you voted on that particular license. And, you know, that's just it from someone that deals with the residents.
Okay, thanks. David, do you want to say something?
If someone who voted for it would like to move to reconsider, we can have that vote again. Is that clear? Robert's rules there. If one of the people who voted for that resolution would now move to reconsider, then we can redo that vote.
I'm personally not doing it because, you know, when everyone's his home, everyone's happy, but when the rent's not paid, and I do get it, but 20 years, we're not talking, David, we're talking about 20 years and somebody kicks you out. I dealt with it. I have 4 businesses. I dealt with the owners. They throw you out like a piece of fabric, and everything you work for just goes to garbage. When everyone was working from home remotely this entire time, and everybody that had businesses like that, and I'm not even 10, I'm 10 years, 12 years. I'm not 20 years. So they just throw you in the garbage. So everything you work for, it's fine. And the people that are making the decisions are the people that are like working remotely from home and still getting paid. So this is why I voted that way. This is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what you do for a living, but it's
kind of irrelevant, but First Avenue would be a better location, and it's one block away.
I'm sorry, but I love this discussion, but
Yeah, thanks. I think
sorry.
maybe we should all get a beer one night and talk.
Yeah, I was
about
gonna say,
this.
let's get a drink.
Okay. Not tonight.
That's it then.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next application. Going out of order again, apologies. Is the applicant for number 12, 351 East 12th Street here?
I am, but I'm spent. I got nothing to say. So go ahead, Michelle.
Is your client here?
Yes, Deb, where are you? I saw her.
I'm here.
Hi, okay.
No, that's not, Attila, this isn't your
Yeah.
case.
Yes.
Attila, we're done with you.
Okay.
Frank, who are we looking for?
Debbie Eng. It says Debbie's phone. There it is. Debbie, unmute. You're staring at the floor, I think.
Is she there, Frank, or should we come back?
The phone's on. It's been on all this time.
I know, I just don't see her.
I guess why not do another case, Michelle? No.
Okay. You lost a golden opportunity here, Frank.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, let's go to, then in that case, let's go to the location where Keybar is now and is moving from. That's number 13, 432 East 13th Street is the applicant for that here.
Michael Kelly representing the applicant. John Cotillo is also here. He's the owner.
Hi, okay. All right, I put the application in the chat. Okay, so we just talked at length about Keybar, which is currently at 432 East 13th Street, and we approved the resolution to move them. This applicant is for what will be the former Keybar space. So an entity to be formed by John Cotillo. As we already heard, it's a small space, certificate of occupancy of 74 seats, 7 tables with 43 seats, an L-shaped bar with 12 seats, bar, fair, prepared to prep area, served within 1 hour of closing. So I think we talked already about how Keybar has been licensed here since October 2002. There are 11 full on premises liquor licenses, including its Keybar there. This applicant is asking for 4 a.m. closure, which is what Keybar had. Keybar didn't have any stipulations. It's 2002, it was before stipulations were a thing. So, okay, so this applicant is licensed in 3 different places in CB3. Iggy's at 132 Ludlow, the Spotted Owl at 211 Avenue A, and Local 138 at 181 Orchard, which used to be at 138 Ludlow, hence the name. SLA history is just COVID related. As we've talked about, I think that was something that happened a lot to applicants. There were 18 commercial 301 complaints with NYPD action necessary at this applicant's location, the Spotted Owl at 211 Avenue A, which is pretty close to here. I think it's around the corner. We've already talked about the problems with the actual location, which, as you know, we take into account when we're evaluating a new application at a location. We also received an email from a resident who reported that at the applicant's location, Spikes and Spotted Owl, that they put trash from inside the bar outside and leave broken glass on the sidewalk, and have submitted numerous 301 complaints about this. I'm not sure if that person's here. 69 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor of this. And they're asking for outdoor dining and happy hours till 8 a.m. Okay, anything I missed there, Michael?
No, but just to clarify something, we were approached by the landlord and told the current owner was leaving. We weren't trying to have somebody lose their business that was there for 20 years. John is well known on the Lower East Side for the places he runs, and this would be a typical John Cotillo bar.
Okay. Anyone from the committee have any questions?
You said that there were 18 311 complaints?
Yeah, at Spotted Owl. I was actually going to ask Susan if she has any knowledge, Susan, about this operator and problems at his locations. Iggy's, Spotted Owl, and Spikes.
I'm trying to remember. I know John's been around for a long time and always goes to like the precinct meetings, which is always a good sign. I'm off the top of my head. I'm just not going to remember about this.
Okay. Thanks. So actually, I'll ask you, John, about the noise complaints at Spotted Owl, and you're on mute, but yeah.
I'm actually not even aware of all these noise complaints. Maybe some of this stuff has to do with when COVID was going on. I can address the garbage situation though.
Sure. Actually, well, Jeanette, do you remember if there's anything from your searching of the 301 complaints, if it had anything specific? I think she walked away. John, go ahead about the trash. Thanks.
I have private sanitation. So the garbage, when the outdoor seating was out there, the building was throwing their garbage in front of my spot. So that bags of trash are just hundreds of bags of trash are just being piled up from the building. And then the neighbors are throwing their bags on top of those bags, and it just piles up. I'm fighting with the landlord and, the super constantly about this. I think I finally fixed the situation, but it's not my garbage. My garbage goes into a separate spot where I'm paying for the private sanitation. So all that broken stuff, that's the building. That's super. But I actually fixed the situation. I took down all the outdoor seatings because I couldn't take it anymore. Fighting with, everybody under the sun sleeping in this thing. So I don't have any outdoor seatings on 13th Street anymore. I still have one at 218 Avenue A, but that one is relatively clean and we're not having a problem with homeless or anything like that with that one as far as I could see. But the other ones I was having real problems with the attics and everything else going. But that was the garbage. We don't have the garbage situation anymore. And it wasn't my garbage. I pay for private sanitation. And we were trying to tell the people who are coming by, oh, you got to clean this up. My porter's out there every day. I'm paying my porter to clean up building and neighborhood garbage. That's not even mine. So, but I think we took care of that.
Okay, thanks. Susan, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say that garbage problem has been very so common that about 2 months ago, I did a walkthrough on Avenue A and First Avenue with DOT and Department of Health because of all the garbage and rats. So, I just want to confirm that.
Okay, thank you. No, that's helpful context. I mean, yes, I know it's been a problem everywhere. I just wasn't sure about the context for this one. So thank you. Okay, anyone from the committee have any questions, comments, concerns about this? Again, this is the former Keybar space.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Paul.
don't know where I know John from, but I know him somewhere. But all I have to say is this, all these people that are complaining about this, if we could just go out and clean the garbage, because it has been a big problem. Everyone just complains about stuff. Just go out and clean it. It's not that hard. Just sit in your apartment, look out the window, and stay in a Zoom meeting complaining means zero. And I don't care if I get kicked off the committee. This is the truth, and nobody wants to even deal with it. Yeah, let's all send emails and see what we can do.
Thanks, Paul. Susan, I see your hand up
I'm
again.
sorry, that's really unfair. What's happening is sanitation is not picking up garbage because the sheds don't allow any spaces, and they can't. They just absolutely can't. And a lot of that garbage comes from all the people going to the bars. They, that's their garbage too. It's not fair to say that he couldn't do something about it.
Please.
I don't want, I'm not going to go back and forth. I
Susan,
deal with this. This is my job. I
Susan,
deal with it every day, and they can't do it.
I've built a shed, which is steel, and I house the entire block in just one spot. I know because I deal with this every single day. You're right, what you're saying, but at the same time, people have to take initiative.
Not in this area. You can't.
I mean, Paul, to talk about the application, not about the neighbors.
Well, everyone knows how I feel about containerized trash, and I would love if the city could get off its patootie and do it, but we haven't gotten there yet. But that would make a lot of difference for all of these problems. Okay, any other concerns about this application or questions? Again, 4 a.m. all nights, which is what the previous or current tenant has.
On a personal level, no, not really. I know Iggy's, I know some of the other bars, I got no issue with them. From an application, from a committee standpoint, 18 noise complaints in the last 4 years it seems incongruous with the idea of standing up for what the community wants. So I don't know, especially considering the last application we had, where we stand on all of this. I'm curious what the other committee members think.
David or Jeanette, are you Jeanette, are you back? I see, because Jeanette did the research on this one. I can try and run the 301s again.
Sorry, what was the question?
Just about the 301s at the Spotted Owl.
Oh yeah, there were a bunch. Sorry, whatever number I put in the resolution, was it like 8 or so?
18.
Oh, 18. So that was that.
Did you find for any other of his locations?
I tried the other locations. I had a couple issues like looking up the Ludlow location on like the 311 search. It like wouldn't turn up that address, and I couldn't find the BBL for it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It is not a good system. Jamie, are you just trying to understand like what that means in terms of the operation?
Yeah, if we're supposed to be, relatively objective and whatnot, like I said at the beginning, caveat is as an individual, I like the bars. As a member of this committee, what are we supposed to think here? Is there, Susan said she's not aware of any major complaints. Okay, fine. So then maybe I'm overreaching or overthinking.
Let me see. Could I say, I didn't say, what I said is I couldn't remember. I did not know, but I don't believe I was asked to check.
Yeah, I mean, no, Jamie, certainly I think that the noise complaints are concerning, and I mean, it's sort of like the data doesn't lie. That's why I was just, so sometimes when we search using, sorry, I should take a step back. The data does not lie, except for that it does, in the sense that we're at the mercy of the inputters of the data. So,
Can I say, you didn't say what the resolutions were to the complaints.
well, they all are just NYPD took action.
Oh, there's 18, they took action or 18 complaints?
No, took action. We don't count the ones that they don't. So it's the police department responded to the complaint and took action to fix
Okay,
the.
well, that is significant then.
Yes, yeah.
How far do these complaints go back? Were they before I was even the owner there?
No, I mean, I'm looking, there was one last week. There's ones from 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018.
Right, so some of those complaints could be like when we were closed and maybe somebody, I don't know, we were closed for how long? I mean, I was closed for like a year and a half.
They took action with the business.
Well, I'm just saying, but Susan, what I'm saying is that, is there another, does anything share the address, John? Like, it could be drop-off.
The bar's in there, there's
there's
the
like
place behind me, the Phoenix bar.
Yeah, like Susan, there's drop-off services on the same address.
There's no way I got all these noise complaints.
Well, if it's the same address, then so I'm going to suggest next time you ask me to look up, what you usually do, the business. If you're going by an address and there's 2 bars at that address, it's totally irrelevant.
Okay.
Can I ask John something?
Go ahead.
Did the police ever come in your place and issue a noise complaint violation?
No, never. Never once, as long as I've been there. We actually have a good reputation.
Oh, I think he cut out.
I have 5 licensed 4 a.m. locations, 2 in the East Village, 1 on Ludlow, 1 on Orchard, and 1 in Brooklyn. I have nobody ever, if I have a problem with me, they call me directly. They have my phone number, all those guys who are in charge of this, and I'm not getting calls. And I speak to them. I'm at all these meetings. Every month I'm at these meetings.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Susan, you said that he comes to the precinct.
Yes, I see.
right?
I've been seeing.
I've been involved. I've been on the community council for probably 14 years at the 7th. So I speak to these guys.
Yeah, it's yes. If you're looking up an address and there's more than 1 bar at that address, I mean, how could you possibly say it's one or the other?
Sorry. I don't do DJs. We don't, I don't run those kind of places. I'm not having like rotating DJs. A DJ to me is, one of the neighborhood kids with his iPod. That's a DJ to me. I don't even have those connections to do that kind of stuff. I'm not looking to run club scene. I don't run club scenes. I mean, I have a pretty good track record over the last, 18 years I've been doing this.
Okay. Anyone else from the committee want to ask any questions or talk about this? The only thing we got from the community was that one notice about the trash. So we didn't get any input about this either.
Say trash is not an SLA issue. It's an
Yeah,
issue.
no, I'm just saying that it wasn't like we got anything else. So it's that we can rely on in terms of reporting. I mean, Susan, like my inclination is that because the place has been licensed for 20 years and the 4 a.m. license, there's not a real history of problems. There's probably not much to do here. I mean, is that your sense too?
If it had been true that they had a lot of, took action complaints, but right now we have nothing. We don't know anything.
Yeah,
So
it's just hard to know.
And he has other locations that there are not, don't seem to be problems that I'm aware of.
Right.
So I would say, yes, you're correct.
That's kind of my gut, that there isn't, it's a long-standing license and a record of fine operation by this operator. So, okay, anyone else from the committee have any comments? I would like to hear how you're thinking before or if you'd want to do a straw poll or something. No one, David?
We'll go to community yet.
Okay. Laura, go ahead.
I just want to understand how this new applicant can make this a viable business model and the applicant who was there for 20 years cannot.
It's called money.
Okay, I don't really want to get into a back and forth about that, but I appreciate the
I don't
question.
intend
Yeah.
that. I just
Yeah.
want to raise the fact that we are now introducing through your actions this evening, another new license in an oversaturated area. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Anyone else from the community here to speak on this? It's number 13, 432 East 13th Street. Okay, I'm not seeing any hands. David, I don't know if you wanted to weigh in at this point now that there isn't anyone else from the community to speak.
No, I just wanted to hear.
Okay. Jesse, Jeanette, Jamie, how are you thinking?
Listen, like I said from the get-go, if nobody else on the committee has an issue, I got no issue. I like the locations.
Okay, Jeanette. Paul, David.
I have no problem with it.
Okay.
I don't think we have any leverage with this one. Okay. No.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna share the stipulations form then. Oops, that's wrong.
I want to know what David's eating.
I'm eating very nutritious peanuts. It's terrible. I'm starving to death.
Just wait till we're gonna have to order pizza next month. Okay, I am sharing my screen so we can go through the STIPs. Again, this is entity to be formed by John Cutillo at 432 East 13th Street for a bar tavern with a less than full service kitchen, but serving food during all hours of operation, opening no later than 2 p.m. and closing by 4 a.m. all days. Doorman Thursday, Friday, Saturday, existing soundproofing. Are you gonna have a closed fixed facade or will you close doors? John or Frank?
John?
It's actually one window that's totally closed and there's one window that does open.
Okay, so you need to close at 10 p.m. or when amplified sound is playing. No DJs, no live music, no promoted events, no event with a cover fee, no scheduled performances, ambient recorded background music only. No pub crawls, no boozy brunches. If you have a happy hour, it needs to end at 8. No wait lines, person responsible for ensuring no loitering. You'll close all outdoor dining by 10 p.m. and no speakers or TV monitors. Frank, does that all look right?
Yes.
Excuse me, now I'm meeting. Okay, committee, any questions, comments, concerns about the steps? David, go ahead.
4 a.m. all nights. It's a, I mean, it is a side street.
Are you proposing something?
Well, at least, I mean, at the latest 2 a.m. on the non-weekend nights. Does that work?
Fine with me.
Fine with me too.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Is that Sunday through Wednesday?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I mean, I'm also fine with 4 a.m. so maybe I should do a straw poll on that. All right, David, would you vote for 4 a.m. all nights?
Well, if it came down to it, it's better.
I
than
can come back to you if you want me to.
But I mean, I want it to close at 2 a.m.
Okay, Paul, would you vote for 4 a.m. all nights?
All nights, no.
Okay, Jamie? No. Jesse?
Yes.
Jeanette? Jeanette, would you vote for 4 a.m. all nights? Okay, Jeanette's on here. All right, I would prefer 2 a.m. So let's do closing by 2 a.m. Wednesday to Sunday and 4 o'clock a.m. Thursday to Saturday. I just change the resolution before I forget.
Think about Sunday to Wednesday.
What I write?
I think it's
Yep.
Sunday.
Okay, committee, any other issues? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay, I'm not hearing any other things from the committee, so I'm gonna move this to a vote. Again, this is for 432 East 13th Street. Michelle, at 4 a.m. weekends, 2 a.m. Weeknights. Michelle, yes. David Crane,
Yes.
Jesse Beck,
Yes.
Jamie Felber,
Yes.
Paul Ciros,
Yes.
Jeanette Kim. I think we lost Jeanette. Okay, thanks for everyone's time. We'll send you the stipulations tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Okay. Frank, I'm giving you another chance.
Yeah, I'm not speaking to my client. This is gonna be a tough one.
I'm right here.
Okay, great. Let me redrop that one. So again, this is 351 East 12th Street.
I'm so sorry, guys.
That's okay. You just made Frank wait through another application. I'm
Pasted the wrong thing, Michelle.
sorry.
You didn't paste a link. You pasted some cut and paste from before.
Oh, whoops. That was my that was a stipulation. That was copy and paste. All right, there's the application. Thank you, David, for catching that. Good thing it wasn't something mean about you, David, that I had copied and pasted. Not that I would ever write anything mean about you. I'm bad joke, David. Okay. All right. This is an application for a full on-premises liquor license in the premises located at 351 East 12th Street between First Avenue and Second Avenue. The location has a letter of no objection of 74 people, 7 tables and 20 seats with one 17-foot bar. It's Lebanese food prepared in a full kitchen, served during all hours of operation. There are 9 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet. This location is currently unlicensed, but was previously had a full on-premises license as Ducks Eatery, Ave LLC, which I will always remember as the place my best friend got her phone stolen off the table. Nothing against Ducks Eatery, just a reminder, don't leave your phone on the table when you're sitting outside. From 2012 to 2020, with closing hours of 1 a.m. Monday to Wednesday, 3:30 a.m. Thursday to Sunday, with recorded music only, and which had no known complaints to the community board. This applicant has never previously been a license holder, but has operated this restaurant since September 2021 without a license. And if there's any other history you guys can give us, that'd be helpful. There have been no 301 complaints here with NYPD action necessary. 54 residents signed a petition in favor. They're asking for the same hours as Ducks Eatery had, which is 1 a.m. Monday to Wednesday and 3:30 a.m. Thursday to Sunday. I personally think that's a little weird that they got the Sunday at 3:30 a.m. So I might recommend that we do 1 a.m. Sunday to Wednesday as we would typically do. If it will close all outdoor dining by 10 p.m. of course, and they're asking for a happy hour till 7 p.m. Frank or Debbie, can you just provide us a little bit more details about your history?
Okay, you guys will never hear me say this. Debbie's husband is the chef. He's unbelievable. This guy is so talented, and I never rave about clients. Debbie's experience. Deb, do you have experience in other restaurants? You're
Yes,
moving a lot.
my father had a restaurant. We had a restaurant on 36th Street back in the 90s. And right before Katrina, we had a restaurant in New Orleans. So Katrina wiped that out.
So, and as I've said, Her husband
Yeah.
in the kitchen is unbelievable.
Okay, thank you. Okay. What hours are you operating now?
Right now is 11:30 to 10:30 on the weekends and 10 p.m. on the weekdays.
Okay.
Michelle, I was there Thursday night. Not to speak poorly of my client, but they're really not doing business without any type of license there. They're just.
Oh, no,
it
I was just asking about the hours because you're asking for 1 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. So I'm trying to understand if that's what you're.
They're hoping
actually-
with the license, people will be coming in. And right now, it's
Okay.
very tough.
Hopefully that helps.
There's too many choices for people. A place that doesn't have a license it was a ghost town.
Yeah.
Sorry, Deb.
Yeah. It's the truth, Frank. What can I say?
I'm
Okay.
not supposed to say those things.
Okay. Anyone from the committee have any questions for the applicant or things they want to say about this?
Yeah, I got a question. Why 3:30 in the morning?
Optimism.
Okay.
Very optimistic. I mean, do I expect this place to actually close 3:30 every day? Probably not. If we were lucky enough to have the type of business that keeps us there till 2 or 2:30, I think they'd be very happy.
Yeah.
Food all hours, right, Frank?
The food is sensational, and yes, food all hours. It's not a bar. It's never going to be a bar. If you see the layout, it's a restaurant.
Yeah, Jamie, if you look at it's very small.
No, I know the location very, very, very well.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, what they were doing Thursday night was impressive. Was a lot of takeout. So it's hopeful that once we can get this thing up and going, that they'll succeed.
Okay. Anyone else from the committee?
Yeah, can we do can we do 12 and 2 a.m.? I mean, it's
Yeah.
only natural.
Yeah.
Debbie, how
that's
does that
sort of
sound to you? Debbie, how does that sound to you?
That's fine.
There you go.
That's sort of our standard, just, committee, as you know, that's sort of our standard restaurant.
Yeah.
12 a.m. Sunday to Wednesday and 2 a.m. Thursday to Saturday.
That's fine.
If we ever need later hours, we can come back.
Okay.
Yeah. We can start for now.
So I don't mind a late restaurant now and then either.
And there's
Sometimes
no
I
late
get
restaurants
hungry
anymore.
and it's past 2.
I know there's really nowhere to eat late anymore.
I
I
know.
know.
Okay, but I'm cool with the 12 too.
Go to sleep.
Jesse, are you okay with it?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
David or Jamie or Jeanette? That's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine
12
with it.
too? Okay. Sorry, I'm eating cabbage, which I'm sure is super loud on my headphones, but I'm starving, as David was too. Okay. Committee, anything else before I see if there's anyone from the land that wants to speak? I don't really think that there's anyone left besides applicants and members, but. Okay, anyone here from the public to speak on number 12, 351 East 12th Street? Raise your hand or forever hold your peace. Okay, I see nobody. Okay. All right, I'm going to share the STIPS form, which I will need to change. Okay. Okay. What name should be on this?
Debbie Yang.
ENG?
Yep.
ENG.
Okay. Okay, so it's an application for a liquor, wine, beer, and cider license for 351 East 12th Street, Lebanese restaurant, kitchen open all hours, serving food all hours, opening no later than 11:30 a.m. all days, and as we discussed, closing by 12 a.m. Sunday to Wednesday and 2 a.m. Thursday to Saturday. Outdoor dining must be closed by 10 Closing any front or rear facade doors by 10 or when amplified music is playing. No DJs, no live music, no promoted events, no event with the cover fee, no scheduled performances, ambient recorded background music only. No alterations without coming back here, not seek a change in class without coming here, irrelevant. Not participate in pub crawls or have party buses, no boozy brunches or other drink specials with food. Happy hour will end by 7, no wait lines, staff responsible for ensuring no loitering. We'll close all outdoor dining by 10 and no speakers or monitors. Debbie, should you be the contact here?
So repeat that, please.
Should you be the contact person on the stipulation
Yes.
form? Okay, and
Yes.
what's your phone number?
Yes, 917.
Okay.
816.
Sorry, 816.
816.
Okay.
8856.
Okay, great.
Sorry,
Frank,
Michelle,
this all
I
looks
missed that.
good? That's okay. This all
Yes,
looks
that
good?
looks- Yes.
Okay. Committee, any questions, comments, concerns about the steps?
No.
Okay.
I just
I'm
wanted
going
to thank you to come back to us. I'm so sorry about before.
Oh, no, that wasn't when you were open and it was Ducks Eatery like 7 years ago. Just a funny memory when you've lived somewhere a while. Okay, moving this to a vote, hearing no further objections from the committee. So voting for a full on premises for 3051 East 12th Street. Michelle, yes. David Crane,
Yes.
Jesse Beck,
Yes.
Jamie Felber,
Yep.
Paul Ciros.
Yes.
Okay, I think we actually lost Jeanette. Oh, Jeanette, are you there still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry, I lost. Okay, are you, what are you?
I'm a yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Debbie and Frank, for your time.
Thank you
We'll
so
send
much,
tips forms
guys.
around. Thanks.
Have a good night.
Have a
You
good
too.
month, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank. Okay, guys, we're doing pretty well. Last one for the evening is number 8, 145 Avenue C. Is the applicant here for that? Sorry for making you wait.
No worries. Thank you. Can,
Okay.
can I be heard? Do you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. This is Alan Gardner. I'm the attorney.
Hi.
Bobby
Great.
Gonzalez is here, and I can't get my picture on the screen, but
You're good. We can hear you just fine.
yeah, that's Bobby.
Okay, fabulous.
Hello.
Okay, committee, I don't know if there's literally anyone left here besides applicants and committee and members of the board, but I've dropped the application in the chat just in case you'd like to follow along. So this is an application for a full on premises liquor license at 145 Avenue C between 9th and 10th Street. LNO of 74 people, 20 tables and 40 seats, one 37-foot long bar with 13 seats and a prep area. Is that no full kitchen? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. With New Mexican food available every day until 2 a.m. There's one TV behind the bar, and music will be primarily streaming services, but occasional live acoustic acts, which I will ask you about in a bit. And also you're asking for entertainment level music, which I will ask about. There are 9 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet per the lamp map. This location, if anyone, I'm sure most of you are aware of it, was Esperanto, which closed during COVID in September 2021, but had been open since 1999 with no stipulations. I think, I talked to Susan about this. There had been complaints at Esperanto. They had a boozy brunch, yada, 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 but nothing recent known to the community board. There were 3 commercial 3-in-1 complaints with action necessary since 2018. The applicant here this evening operated La Flaca at 384 Grand Street for a decade from 2010 to 2020. Community Board 3 approved the applicant in August 2020, and he was further approved in September 20. Wow, oh my God, they got approved in like a month. Things have changed. At the
You don't want to
SLA.
let me eat, huh?
With stipulations.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Frank,
though.
I think
How many?
with stipulations including closing by 4 a.m. Monday to Saturday and 2 a.m. Sundays. All doors would be closed by 10 p.m. with occasional live and recorded music. No known SLA history and no complaints to the community board. 127 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor of the application. He's asking, the applicant is asking for 4 a.m. all nights at Esperanto, the old Esperanto location, I should say. And yeah, Bobby, if you could just talk a little bit more about the music, like the how often, what kind of music, and tell us about the entertainment level request, please.
And
That'd be
the
helpful.
zoning is missing.
What do you mean?
The application doesn't have the zoning.
Ellen, you should have all that. We got all the stuff from
It's,
Are you concerned about the zoning, Susan? Is there something in there
Yeah,
that
it's missing. And I don't remember what it is.
I can look it up?
Well,
But
it's
Bobby, can you talk about the music in the meantime, please?
Yeah, I mean, literally, when I was down at 384 Grand Street, we were like the first people to ever succeed there, and we became a huge neighborhood spot. And you know, we would have acoustic bands, and we would have, you know, then we had occasional DJs, which we really, I guess for us, we realized that like we had like Cinco de Mayo, we like to have, you know, mariachis come in. We have a, you know, it seems like that was kind of part of Esperanto as well. And, you know, we want to have the option to do those things, but in reality, I really don't want to do them very often at all, but like for special occasions, truthfully, I'd rather have the background music and, you know, and the entertainment music, I guess, you know, to have that kind of vibe instead of, you know, at my last place, we would do bingo, we would do, you know, different things. And I just thought that kind of takes away from the actual, what you're trying to do. You know, as far as establish a nice place, I think after COVID, everybody wants a nice place to hang out at, and a melting pot of people, not a real young crowd, not a, you know, just a place where you can go and feel comfortable, like whether you played softball, whether you, a night out with your friends. So I think that's kind of what we want to do, what we're doing down in the Lower East Side, but bring that here. And which we were actually picked out as well, because they wanted something similar to Esperanto for that building as well.
Okay, so are you just saying that you want live acoustic? I'm just trying to understand, because live acoustic music usually is not at entertainment level, so that's what I'm trying to understand that.
Right. So we want to have that. If we have it like, you know, if, let's say it's Cinco de Mayo, we want to bring a mariachi band in. Do I want to do that every Thursday, Friday? No, not at all.
Is that gonna be amplified? I don't think so. Like, are you gonna put it on speakers or?
I mean, sometimes they'll plug in their, you know, little guitars into like a little amp or something, but it's not, I mean, usually mariachis and stuff, they just come in and they play their instruments from, you know, whatever they have in their hand, a guitar, you know, whatever they use to play, accordion or.
Right, okay, and are you saying you only want it on special occasions, or
Yeah,
it just, we
most
need to
part.
like put some sort of strictures around it, like otherwise?
Not at all, not weekly at all, not even close.
Okay, on special occasions only, such as Cinco de Mayo. Susan, do you think that this sounds like it's gonna be entertainment level from what he's describing?
I don't think I don't think anything's clear. I mean, it's either amplified or it's not amplified. And it actually sounds entertainment level.
Okay.
But I think if you're going to say special occasions, you got to give some kind of number.
Okay.
Otherwise it's meaningless.
Yeah, okay, so Bobby, do you have a sense of like how many times a year, like 5 times, 10 times?
Probably not more than, no, probably like 5 times at the most. I mean, there's not that
Okay.
many occasions I think that we would do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna say no more than 5 times a year. I'll say, so it will play ambient background music consisting of recorded music. 361 days a year, or 360 days a year. I don't know how do you think?
Except
Just say how many times that they'll have this special stuff and say remaining days ambient background.
Okay, that's a good idea, okay. It may have occasional incidental live music on special occasions, live amplified entertainment. I'll send this to committee. I'm making this edit in the doc, in the Google Doc. And we'll play ambient background music on all remaining days.
You put in.
Okay, so it may have occasional incidental live amplified music at entertainment levels on special occasions only, such as Cinco de Mayo, no more than 5 times a year. And we'll play ambient background music consisting of recorded music on all remaining days, but will not have DJs, promoted events, scheduled performances, or any event at which a cover fee is charged. That's a mouthful.
Bobby, is that okay?
I'm sorry, what was that? I'm sorry, I got.
Is that
I just put it
okay?
in the chat. I just put it in the chat.
Oh, is that right? Can you?
And Susan, the zoning is R7A C15. It's in the corner.
Okay, so it's no scheduled performances, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. All right, committee, you see that? Okay. Excuse me. That was my main question. Committee members, do you have any questions? No one? Questions, comments, concerns? I actually feel like this is a pretty good match. I'm sad that you're leaving. I live right by Grand Street. Sad that you're moving far away, but
Yeah.
c'est la vie.
They actually doubled my rent during COVID as well, so we had to leave.
Oh, wow. Well, the place that replaced you closed, so.
I heard, yeah. You heard the guy at Salugi's passed away right across the street.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone from the committee have any questions?
I'm just excited to have new Mexican food.
Thank
I
you.
love red chile. That's like, I love that stuff. So
I used to live in Los Alamos. I miss the food.
Sorry?
Oh, I'm just reminiscing too. I used to live in Los Alamos.
Oh, no way. I'm from Las Cruces. Yeah, we always bring, we fly at my last place. I don't know if you ever went. We had the hatch green chili and red chili. So that's kind of what we do. That's our thing.
one of my good friends from Albuquerque will stop by.
I feel like I'm getting lucky right now.
Okay. Okay, no one from the committee have any questions? That was my main concern and question was about the music, because we needed details, but I think we got them. Okay, I'm gonna share the STIPS form then so we can go through them together. Maybe that will jog your memories if you have any questions. Okay, so this is an application for a full on-premises license at 145 Avenue C, New Mexican restaurant, kitchen serving food all the time, asking for 4 a.m. close all nights. As I said, Esperanto didn't have any STIPS, so they were allowed to stay open till 4. Sidewalk cafe till 10, already installed soundproofing, close any front or rear facade doors at 10 p.m. or when amplified music is playing. As we discussed, you are going to have some of that potentially. We've gone over the stipulation at length. It's in the chat about the music. Will not apply for an alteration without coming back here. No pub crawls or party buses, no boozy brunches.
Excuse me, number 11, but we have a full on, we're getting a full on premises.
Yeah, it's just a standard stipulation that we have on our forms.
Okay, that can't, okay.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's a little weird and redundant. They will not have a happy hour or drink specials, no wait lines, no staff person with a staff person, excuse me, responsible for ensuring no loitering. You will close all outdoor dining by 10 p.m. and not have any speakers or monitors.
Okay, there's a few things that are incorrect on this thing.
Sure.
So at our last place, we did have, so the way we do our happy hour is kind of, and the reason why I come forth is because I want to be completely transparent with you guys, but we would like on Sundays have like $1 or $2 off drinks, all night just to get people to come in on a Monday. I mean, we're like, I'm on Avenue C and my other place is in Grand Street where there's literally not a lot of foot traffic during the weekdays. So we did have a happy hour and then like every day of the week, we would have.
I think it just wasn't checked off on your thing. So what time do you want to have a happy hour till?
I mean, like my last place, we would keep it all night. So people knew you'd come in on Sunday. We had, a certain thing for happy hour, but it's like, where even the weekends we would have, I think like on Saturday, the families love it as well. They would come in and have frozen margaritas at a decent price. I mean, we're not trying to do like, half off or anything like that, but we do take off a couple of dollars here and there to make it a little bit more affordable for families and stuff in the neighborhood as well. I mean, we're a very diverse melting pot.
I understand. I just, what are you asking for?
I mean, I guess I was just trying to explain it, but we usually have happy hour, 7 days a week, but it's like one item that we pick for that certain day, and we take a couple of dollars off.
Right. No, we usually put an hour that it ends.
What hour do you want it?
10 p.m. or?
Oh, I mean, midnight. I don't know. Is that too much for you guys? I don't know. I mean, like honestly, again,
we can't do happy hour for that many hours.
Yeah, Susan, can you go ahead, please?
All right, 10, I guess. If that's what you guys are. I mean, I don't know.
Susan, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time understanding what it is he's asking for.
I mean, it sounds like he's asking for a drink special.
Yeah,
Right.
the thing I would be careful about, Avenue C is not Grand Street, and I would be very careful about the weekend brunches. As well as we've never, I don't think, had a happy hour until midnight.
Well, we could do 10. That's fine. I mean, I was just trying to give something back to the neighborhood a little bit where they, like people from the neighborhood can actually afford.
You're doing it to make money. Everybody is. It's not to give back. I'm sorry. It's not to give back to the neighborhood. But I would be careful, Michelle, about the brunches, because that's where we always have a problem.
No, I know. Yeah. I mean, I'll just say things have changed since you applied in 2010. We don't like allow boozy brunches anymore, which is like kind of what it sounds like. That's why we specifically have it. They will like, yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, I feel like Keybar actually was one of those places where you could get happy hour like till the end of the night, more or less. That was like kind of their thing, I assume. But it just,
If you can take a couple dollars off all night, just make the drinks less expensive.
I mean, I'm fine going to 10 if that's what you guys, I don't mind charging regular price at all, but obviously like I got to charge what's, I can't charge. I got to charge some, rent's more expensive now than it was pre-COVID as well. What's the latest you guys would get for that? I mean, I'll abide by.
Susan is right. I mean, you can't. I mean, you know what a happy hour is? I mean, you know that a happy hour is a couple of hours.
8 or something, yeah.
Work. It's not like the 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. I mean, if you want to switch up the menu, I mean, I don't know, but I don't know.
Sounds like it's a marketing thing to say we have happy hour instead of just charging a few dollars less for the drink. It sounds.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind just. That's what I'm saying. Like certain days we'll do it to discount a drink. But I mean, if you guys just want me to say from, I mean, what do most people do?
I think the latest that we really see is 8.
8, that's fine.
What time is it going to start?
I guess that's up to you guys, right?
We don't usually define that, Susan.
We don't, but he's talking about weekend brunches.
Well, brunch. So my last place as well, we did do the drink thing, and we did it for an hour and a half, and we had a full set. We have a full set of rules for it.
That's exactly what we don't want, is someone drinking for an hour and a half.
Right. So we would cut them out 50 minutes before that, and I get what you're saying, but I guess.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to define the beginning of his.
Well, then could say no boozy brunches,
which we do. Obviously, yeah, no boozy brunches, but I'm fine with having the happy hour end at 8 if the committee is. I mean, that's not different than what we typically approve. Any objections to that?
No, I think Susan is 100% right.
I know, but I don't disagree. It's just that we don't.
Well,
we never
so
defined
nobody
the start
else.
happy hour.
That's because nobody else ever spoke about including the brunch in this.
But they're allowed to.
No, they're not, and it's never happened.
They're allowed to have happy hour whenever they open. If we don't define the start of it, I guess is what I'm saying. They're not allowed to have an unlimited drink special, but they could have happy hour all day. I mean, places do that. So, I just don't. If we're striving about, talking about trying to not redefine the wheel every time. I don't feel comfortable defining the start of it here. I think that defining the end of it we should do because we always do that. But anyone on the committee have any objections to 8 p.m. ending happy hour?
No,
Okay.
I mean, it makes absolutely no sense, but yeah.
Well, come on, we can't have a 10-hour happy hour. We just can't, not on a Saturday.
But David, that's what we have. I don't understand. This is what we have on every, if we need to
Nobody
change this.
does, nobody does it. It's never come up before. So over the years, we address issues as they come up. This has never come up before.
But what is coming up, I guess, is what I'm asking.
A desire to have a happy hour that starts during the daytime.
What I'm saying is,
never
just
decided
because it doesn't
when
come up
happy
doesn't
hour
mean,
starts before.
yeah.
When he first started saying, oh, Monday night, more affordable margaritas, I was thinking like, oh yeah, my favorite pizza place has a free bottle of wine with a certain amount of pizza that you might buy on a Monday night. But then it turned into, couldn't tell actually. I mean, I'm really sharing this frustration with others here that I don't know what's being proposed. I started to hear every single night. And then it was like, well, a particular drink on a particular night. I don't know what the plan is here, but we can't have unlimited drinking. And that is the point of the restriction. So how can we get to figure out how much unlimited drinking we are allowing?
What time does he open during the week?
My last place, we'd open about 11 every day.
Okay, actually, we should talk about that, David. That's typically your catch. You said that you want to open no later than 10 a.m. every day. So that means that you need to be open at 10 a.m. every day.
We had the opportunity to, my last place, we had the liquor.
But you're allowed to open before. You just can't open after that.
I'm sorry?
If you put 10 a.m. on your stipulations, you must be open by 10 a.m. every day. If you put 12 p.m., you can open at 7 a.m. if you want, but you cannot open after 12 p.m. So right now you're saying you're committing to being open at 10 a.m. every single day.
No, then that's not what the reason why I was doing that, because it gives me the option. Like my last place, we opened earlier and earlier because the neighborhood wanted it.
Sure. So what time are you actually planning to open now?
Well, and if that's gonna be the case, can I just say 5? And can I still open at 10:30 if I wanted to? If the neighborhood wanted it? Because the neighborhood now, they have no place to go eat breakfast. So.
Yes, what I'm saying is if you put 10 a.m. on here, your legal stipulations will mean that you have to open at 10 a.m. You are allowed to open before 5 p.m. if you put 5 p.m., but you cannot open at 6 p.m., if that makes sense.
Right. But then liquor license wise, we can't start serving till 5, correct? Is that what you're saying?
No.
No. The intent of this stipulation is to get daytime businesses open on the streets. We want to encourage people to open for lunch. But if you're saying that you are not planning to do that, we're not going to force you. We just want it to be accurate.
All right. This is kind of weird. I've never heard this from like a long time ago, I guess 10 years ago, but I guess.
So 5 p.m. You'll commit to opening by 5 p.m. every day.
This leaves the option to open earlier if there's business.
Yes, correct.
With the liquor license, though, that's my question, because.
Yes.
You can serve before 5 p.m.
5 p.m. would be perfect.
Okay. So I guess we don't know exactly when he's going to open. I don't know. I feel like I understand this is not an issue that's come up, but it might just because no one's ever said it. So if we want to, as a committee or whatever, to talk about changing how we define happy hour, then we should do that. But are we going to do that tonight?
I have to watch a movie.
Say it again?
Well, I thought we were agreeing that 8 p.m. happy hour. We've done 8 p.m. happy hours before. Can we just set it at that? And now it's 5 p.m. no later than 5 p.m. I don't see anything that's new or different right now looking at this. 5 p.m. start, no later, 8 p.m. happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyone on the committee have a problem with this?
No, I agree with them.
Go with me.
Okay, cool. Bobby, was there anything else in the stipulations you thought was wrong?
Well, we do have a couple projections that we might pull down, like for a big game, like the World Series or a Stanley Cup or something like that. Is that going to be an issue? I mean, again, I'm being very transparent. Most people have the happy hour and other stuff they do every day, but I'm trying to be transparent with you guys to be as honest as possible.
That's fine.
Or does
What
the
would happen on-
stipulation of, does the stipulation affect that or?
No.
Oh, okay.
And there's a place for a phone number? Do you want to,
Yes, can I have your phone number,
you want
please?
to give them the phone number?
Sure. 917-797-5164.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, anything else, committee?
Can I just remind him that when he has the games on, to have the doors and windows closed?
Yes, that's,
No, I know
there you
it's
go,
in
that's
there. I
fine.
just wanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I just
highlight it
wanted
for him
to
so he can
remind
see
him.
it, yeah. Okay. Anyone else from the committee have any questions, comments, concerns about this before we move to a vote?
You'll email the stipulation in the morning?
If we pass them, yes.
Yes.
Okay, committee, we're good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Paul, you gotta learn how to call the question. David can teach you over that beer. Okay. All right, moving to a vote for number 8, 145 Avenue C. Michelle, yes. David Crane,
Yes.
Jesse Beck,
Yes.
Jamie Felber,
Yes.
Jeanette Kim,
Yes.
Paul Siros.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll send you the stipulations tomorrow morning. Thank you, committee, for your time. And I will count that as our going out vote. And thank you, Susan, for your help as always. And welcome
Thank
to the
you.
new members who stuck around till the end. God bless you. Maybe we'll see you in person in the future.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
Michelle.
Bye.
Night, everybody.